Hello, my name is Dominic Underhall House and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's episode we're going to be looking at something we've done a similar sort of thing before, but again not quite the same, and we're going to be looking at a viewer list. So this list has actually been submitted by someone in the comments section of a YouTube video, and they've asked if I could have a look at it and give it a play and see how I feel. And I think they said it was based on sort of their favourite units just from like a visual standpoint. So we're going to just jump in with this list, see what we can do, and see if we can figure out if we enjoy it, how to win with it, how best to play with it. So it may not be the most optimal list, but it's about doing the best we can with this viewer's favourite units. So the viewer's name is up here. We've got Brachragon or Brachragon or Brachragon. Not quite sure how to pronounce it, but hopefully it's one of those options. We've got an Astra as the captain. And then we've got I've got a couple of 2-drops in here as well. So we've got Beatris Enforcer and Deadeye in here as well. Then we've also got Blindsider Eztli as a 3-drop, also with Savria Safeguard and Toxoid. So Toxoid being the standard Astra combo is more likely to be a 5-drop. Savria Safeguard being a good option for a 3-drop is interesting as well. And then we've got 4 drops in the terms of Torian Guardian and also Jailbreak. Now I'm not quite sure where I think Jailbreak fits in here in terms of game plan. My best thought is it helps things like Blindsider Eztli and Beatris Enforcer get into range, but we'll have to see how that functions. But it also works very well with our 5-drop, which is Crosshair. So if we can find a way to sort of block people in place, maybe get Jailbreak down with Torian Guardian next to it, that sort of thing, make it pretty tough to kill and still manage to get Crosshair around, then who knows, maybe at that point we're going to get some serious damage out. So what I'm going to do is to jump into a few games of this and see what we can do with a viewer submitted list. So I'm hoping we'll have a lot of fun with this. It's one of those things where I really enjoy finding what I think are the best lines to play with whatever tools I happen to be given. So deciding what our curve is going to be is quite interesting. We don't have any 1-drops, so at the very least we know that we're going to be playing a Cinder Orb every single turn 1. And then on turn 2 is where it gets interesting, because we've either got the option of playing Deadeye and Beatris, which I think most of the time is probably correct, but we could also stick down Torian Guardian or Jailbreak. So weighing up those options, I think it's probably going to be Beatris and Deadeye most of the time, but then the issue is what do we do on turn 3? So turn 3 we'd have 3 Cinder, and at that point we'd either go back to just playing a 3-drop like Savria and not placing another one of our Cinder Orbs, or we'd have the option of trying to just bank some Cinder for the following turn, and I think that depends on the board state. There's not a huge amount that we can do on turn 3, so I think that's somewhere where, in an ideal sort of like structured list, that would be something we'd be looking at working on and figuring out our 3-drop, but all in all, I don't think it looks too bad, so I'm going to jump into a few games and have some fun. I'll see you in the game. Okay, we found our game. We're going to jump into it now and see how well we can compete. We've got a Zax as an opponent, so knowing that it's Zax is a little bit of worry, because obviously that's one of the most meta picks at the moment. Now thinking about our list, Escape Hatch doesn't do too much for us here, because it's going to be probably a Crosshair. So Cinder Infusion might actually help with some of our curve issues, and then Ion Storm and Orbital Strike are quite reasonable. Thinking about what we've got, it's one of these two. I think we're going to go with the more obvious sort of defensive choice, and we're against Ziggy Zack. So this is someone I'm very familiar with from the Discord. I see them quite often. In fact, I think I've been speaking to them earlier today, so we'll have to see how this goes. And I think what I'm likely to do, so we're glad to not be taking that shot. I'm assuming this is probably a Maximus. Oh, it's a Sleeper Mine. That I find interesting. So I'm going to move here just so we're out of view, and we're just going to grow some Cinder here. We probably should have made an attack first, because if we attack first, then we at least got a small chance of dealing the damage. We know we're in line of sight because they attacked us. So let's see what we can do from here. So I'm very surprised at the mine first. That's an interesting one. I imagine they might be playing a defensive style. Taria Arsenal. So this maybe feels like a Rickety Backfire could be coming or something along those lines. We took that too. In fact, maybe this was bad positioning because we were not far off actually being put in place here. So we've got a few options, one of which is actually just trying to play out Crosshair here. So like growing another Cinder Orb and playing Crosshair. I really don't know if I even have a problem with that. We can get 6 into this turn, so we're best at looking either a 4-drop and a 2-drop or some combination. I actually think that might be what I want to do. So I'm going to take the shot first this time. No sense not to. Missed, but that's fine. We're going to move over here. We'll grow a cinder. What was that? Oh, that's Torian, yeah. Grow our cinder back here. Pop our second wind. And I actually just want to try out a really early Crosshair. Now, I think for Crosshair's positioning, here might be better. Because this means it's very hard for them to get line of sight onto her. And next turn, with our Stim Burst, depending on what they deploy, we could potentially have a really reasonable chance of getting some damage down. So, I want to see if this is what we can work out. So they've got a reasonable line of sight here. Yep, still taking damage on our captain. Obviously don't like that. We've got no way of healing, so we need to be very careful of that on that front as well. So maybe I need to be a little bit more cautious than I normally would, because a lot of my Astra lists either have, you know, quite a beefy front line, or they've got things along the lines of ooh, what have we got coming in here? But maybe like Neck Divine or something like that, or Defense Dome, so really need to be careful with our health here. If they deploy something really aggressively, there's a very good chance we can just go in and try and take it out. But with that, having access to 5 Cinder next turn, it might even be the case that we try and run in and Toxoid something if we can get in range of it, especially with Stim Burst. So like something here.
Here's an idea. Stop
Stitchy McPatchy, eh? So that gives me a few options here, because we can actually claim this and maybe go for something a little bit safer, like or we could even go something like Blindsider Eztli. So if we're going to have 5 Cinder here, what's the best thing for us to use that on? Probably would be Eztli, so I think that's going to be our game plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the extra damage onto, the extra Cinder onto Crosshair.
Smart.
I need to remember, I keep for some reason at the moment doing this ordering wrong, so we're going to pop Eztli down over here, which it does actually get us in range without having to use Stim Burst as well, which is nice. So we're going to move Crosshair over here, get our guaranteed crit, and then we're going to move over here and take out their unit. Okay, so we've got powerful units on the board. They've not quite got enough damage to take it out. They could potentially use the mine and things to do so, but yeah, I mean, they can go ahead and do this. This is pretty reasonable. So that's 2 damage here. If they move Zax over here, give it rapid fire, they could potentially do, you know, take us out. But then that puts them down to one Cinder remaining for the turn, and we're going to have a lot more next turn. So I don't feel like we're in a bad spot. I feel like we've got a reasonable chance of being quite efficient from here on out. We can probably just try and get Astra to try and pop the last bit of damage off of this. Okay, yeah, so they are going to go for that. They missed one as well. That's really unfortunate for them. So given that we've got 4 Cinder here, what's our best spend? Oh no, we've got 2 more. Okay, so they're stunning us. That's fine. I mean, I'm glad they got to use it there rather than anywhere else. Crosshair trying to just... because they can't play anything, Crosshair can just guaranteed kill the mine. This would also kill... yeah, they just want to basically make sure that goes on here. So, can't fit through the gap. But what's we've got 0%... yeah, that goes through too much of the terrain to be reasonable. So, what we might want to do here is just try and take some damage off of their Tari here. There's nothing we can do to save Eztli, so we might as well try for some Tari damage, unless we do shoot this, but then they're just going to kill it next turn anyway. So I think going for this option is reasonable, because the mines, they still have to blow up the mine, so we want to be out of range of it. And just take, yeah, 50% is not unreasonable. There we go, we got that anyway.
Let's let our hair down.
The question is, do we have any range units left that are useful at low... so we've got Deadeye, so yeah, this is going to be a turn when we're going to move up here. We'll take our first shot just in case. I mean, we did get it, it doesn't really do much. So we're going to into the breach. We're going to pop Deadeye out here. And we're going to bring Deadeye over to take this shot. And then what we can also do is use our second wind and place Savria over here. So the other thing we could have done potentially is Savria onto Eztli, but I don't think that's really worth it. It's only going to stop the mine damage, they can just shoot it anyway. Like, I think it's just optimistic to think that we can keep Eztli alive at any point. and having used their stun cooldown is pretty important. This is going to be a 2 Cinder investment for them if they want to use the mine so they can attack somewhere else. So I'm kind of alright with that. Like, we've pinned them down to only really having their captain on the board. So with having a Crosshair and Stim Burst, it's going to be very hard for them to protect any new units as well. So we've potentially got a lot of damage coming in. I think this is a very difficult spot for Ziggy-Zack to come back from. Now obviously there are assists, there are other things that could be more, you know, impactful from here, but it's very like the next turn with 5 Cinder as well. This could be a turn for Jailbreak and start trying to basically force Zax to attack our Jailbreak every turn in order to actually not, you know, be stuck in place and take a ton of damage from Crosshair. This looks like it could be their own Jailbreak, or it is. Interesting. I mean, I'll be honest, Jailbreak is good. Oh, Nano Shield. Interesting. Okay, that I quite like. That's a very interesting choice here. Okay, so we're basically just going to have to spend our turn throwing damage at their Zax. So let's just do exactly that, because this can't move anyway, so we might as well either shield something or put a Cinder Orb out, but I don't really see the benefit in shielding something here. So let's just shoot over there. Can we get a good line of sight this direction? We can. Let's just send that out. Perfect. And with 6 Cinder, honestly, I think we just play Torian Guardian out just behind Zax here. In fact, let's play Torian Guardian here. And let's play Beatris over here and make it very difficult for them to try and escape. There's no point in melee attacking here. This movement is irrelevant. In fact, you know what? We're going to move so that this is in base contact, so that it does explode immediately, rather than giving them better options as to what to explode it on. We should have placed Torian differently for that reason, but this is still pretty reasonable. The fact that it was Torian that took the damage is unfortunate, because Torian's the one that needs to be above it. Can't be damaged that easily otherwise. But there's actually still got very limited movement here. Okay, at least the miss still mattered. Okay, and their Jailbreak is probably going to attack. I was going to say, I don't really know where, but Astra seems to make sense. Like, they're probably not winning the attrition game here. Yep, so they can move. So this is probably going to be our first Stim Burst turn to get everything into range and just start pushing damage onto Zax. Because I think that's our big option here. I mean, we can... Do you know what we can also do? A Stim Burst to use Crosshair. Ooh. Peacemaker Balam just almost always dies here, so... I think we're on a Peacemaker Balam kill plan. Yeah, so we can move through there as well. Yep, that was sensible to move. Moving out of Savria, maybe not. But okay. Let's go with a big old Stim Burst, shall we? Because we want to get Beatris into range of things. In fact, I don't know if we even need to, do we? Because if that can attack that direction. So let's pop this over here. Do you know, I am actually going to Stim Burst, but just so I can give Crosshair the movement.
How about this?
Because I want Crosshair to be able to get right in front of their Peacemaker Balam. So we'll just go this side so that we're out of the range. 80% hit. Perfect. That was exactly what we wanted there. So Deadeye is just going to move over here and go for the shot that direction. Now Beatris, we're going to try and line up into a position where she can potentially hit their captain. Okay, so she's not close enough, but again, we just want this to be the explosion going off. And then here, I think we're actually just going to shield barrier Astra. Move ourselves over here and just start chipping away at a bit of damage. And let's pop down our own Jailbreak and boost Beatris. She's not going anywhere. I'm not going to attack that. I think it's worth saving it. We'll save that entry. Oh, we've missed the 2 Cinder anyway. It would only have been 1. It's not too big of a deal. We were running short on time there, but now I think our focus is just going to be applying pressure onto Zax. And I think we can do so fairly well. I guess that's there, Torian. So Deadeye is going to be really useful here to put it onto Crosshair. If Deadeye lives. I assume Deadeye lives. Because if we put that onto Crosshair, Crosshair can almost guarantee that their Torian dies. Or that we just get 3 damage onto the captain. I think we're nearly at the point in the game where we should just be rushing the captain, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, that missed anyway through the low visibility. That's brutal. So that's really good for us because it keeps our shield protecting him as well, which means we can use Savria again. And potentially use Beatris as well. So we've got 4 or 5 damage here. If we lose a unit, we've got Toxoid coming on. I think we're in a good spot here. It's okay, they're just going to Gravity Disc. If they Gravity Disc, that's not unreasonable either. Sure. So that pulls him out of range of Zax himself. But I think we're in a pretty good spot here in terms of actually just getting damage done.
So lazy. Every day's full body day.
Torian is trapped, so Torian might as well just try for... I mean, these are the same. So let us release Ozos. We're going to try and take down their Torian first, I think. Is what makes sense to me. So we're going to release Ozos on Crosshair. That's 74, whereas this will probably be more around this side. So Beatris is just being left behind on this turn. Yeah, we'll take 85 instead. There we go, decent size hit. Take another hit here. Okay, reasonable chance of that missing anyway, but that's fine. This is about equal either way, yep.
Bravery requires teensy breaks.
Honestly, I think we're just going to move Beatris in range. Oh, we can get Jailbreak to get an attack in here as well. It's very low chance, but again, it's not going to matter too much either way.
Try these goggles of salvation.
I'm going to shield barrier myself here and just get an attack in. Beatris is going to move down here. We might as well grow Cinder over here. I mean, we can't really do anything else. That blowing up and taking more damage off of their Zax is quite useful. So, I mean, we've got so much pressure on Zax here. I just wanted to try and take out Torian first. Yeah, this is ridiculously difficult. They can kill... Okay, I mean, I'd have gone for Deadeye there without a doubt. I think that's the only... Well, it's the best option. Like, taking out Torian is inconvenient, but Deadeye's the one that's going to mean kill you. Because we can just stack up extra accuracy and move right into range. So, I think that's going to be our better option there. Okay. The fact that they pulled Savria away from Jailbreak is kind of good as well, because now we've just got more things that we can just stim burst everything at once, try and run in circles around this and deal with as much as we can. Is this going to be... Yeah, they've got stun unit, but they haven't got nano shield till next turn. So they get... Yeah, stun Crosshair. So the question is now, do we actually just kill Jailbreak and Torian and just try and sort of fill the board, like sort of clear the board as much as we can? We're not going to be able to kill Zax next turn anyway. But I think now is the time to just apply pressure. 30%. I mean, we have to go for that anyway. It missed. Jailbreak can get into range of both of these here. Which... Do you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to move Deadeye to just here. We want to spread out as well to try and avoid the whole shrapnel situation, but I don't know how much we can really do that. I'm going to move Deadeye to here, Ozos on myself, and then try and shoot Torian. Okay, that works.
The wings were a bad choice.
So then with Savria coming around, we can't get quite in range for the defensive things, so I'm going to actually just shield barrier Crosshair and just come over here and take a couple of things out briefly. This.
Something sounds imminent.
Astra can just move back here, grow another Cinder. We can start getting our... Okay, so they're obviously going to go defensive this turn. Shrapnel's going to be an issue, but honestly I think this is a really tough spot because of this low visibility. Deadeye being Ozosed is good. but there's a good chance shrapnel just kills it, which is a shame, but yeah, shrapnel's going to kill that. We don't care about the additional cinder. And the thing, we've only got Toxoid left, so we do just basically need to kill their captain. They're going to nano shield it. Ooh, down to 5. So essentially all we really need to do is deal with their crew.
I ache for battle.
Yep, they have to nano shield there. That's probably the end of their turn. And we can just kill Furia this turn, realistically. This is 88, so if we move out of the mine and just go even closer, this is almost a guaranteed kill already. Oh, that's as best it gets. Of course we missed that. Fair enough. Okay, so let's move just out of the range of that and just start attacking Furia. Do the same with Jailbreak. Beatris can be our designated mine sucker. Savria can come over here and probably just protect Torian.
Like a snug onesie.
We can pop over here. What I'm going to try and do is just grow a cinder in here to try and like maybe reduce some visibility from shrapnel onto things. I'll tell you what we can do actually. If we move here, we keep shrapnel in place, and we've got stim burst next turn. So
stay close to me.
Like, so now we can deploy Toxoid, but I'd rather just save that for whatever their last unit is. Oh, I've got a range attack here, so might as well use that here. I guess we use this on Beatris. She's not going to die. Like, this is still not a sold game, but now we've got past the turn where we can't deal with Zax. In theory, next turn... These low visibility areas are ridiculous sometimes. You just sort of end up in a situation where loads and loads of attacks miss. Like, all of this, there's so much nonsense going on. Like, it's 0% chance to hit against Torian from point blank range, because it's low from the visibility, low through, like, Torian's ability. Maybe there's something else as well. Okay, so I've got one unit down. I think we're very unlikely to lose from here. Yeah, so let's just stim burst everyone and just go for it.
Never gets old.
Like, this took way longer than I feel like it should have done.
Your heart beating fast too.
So just... There we... Oh, okay. We got a crit. Fair enough. So that went reasonably well. I think Crosshair was MVP there. Like, Crosshair just deals so much damage if you can get her down early in a safe position. So I think that really worked out nicely. So I'd normally hope to get 3 games in, but depending on how quick this next one is, it might just be the 2 for this one, because I sort of limit myself to aiming for half an hour per video, if you didn't already know. So obviously sometimes it goes over, there's an occasional one where I go a lot further, but in general I want to try and get a half-hour video done, only because I've got other things I need to do in real life. As much as I'd love to stay here and play like different people's lists all day, which I really would, I don't know if that's really viable for me here. So I'm trying to sort of play a bit less of the beams. I think they're fantastic, but I want to give other things a bit more of a shot. I think the beams are still the best, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them get changed fairly soon, so I'd like to try a few different options. Okay, we are against X-Ray, with a funny spelling of Ray. And we are going...
They're counting on us.
There you go. So we are going second. Let's see what we're up against. Let's greet them as well. We haven't greeted people in a while.
Welcome to Fruit Dome.
Welcome to Fruit Dome. Makes me think, like, if I was to ever have one of those things where people are like, oh, welcome to this crew, or like this gang or whatever, mine would just be like, welcome to the Underdome, instead of like, welcome to Underdome, instead of welcome to Thunderdome. Okay, well there's no way I can get line of sight onto that, so that's absolutely the correct chase to play it. No, nothing. What I will do is try and take a pot shot in order to get a plink. 24%. We missed. That is a shock to me. Okay, growing our cinder. And pass the turn. So I wouldn't have taken that attack if it was a Zax, because they could just get 2 back, but if it's another Astra, plink is fine. I'd still do it versus Extilior, because they're not going to be able to get into range next turn without a good combo of assists, but yeah, anything with like a fairly even trade, I just want to be the one getting the extra damage because I've got plink. So interesting next turn. is that I didn't place the orb aggressively because I don't want them to come up and take it. So that kind of limits our options for coming around and trying to take out their Cinder. If we'd have had like Stim Burst again or something, or Vortex, we could have hasted Deadeye or moved around here, or even just tried to shoot it ourselves. There's lots of different options, but potentially next turn we're going to have 6 Cinder again. So I do think a turn 2 Crosshair is really, really powerful, especially if I place another Cinder Orb. But if they're going to be running over here and doing things, I feel like taking out these orbs is probably just as useful.
I'm just kidding.
So can we get line of sight onto any? No, we can't. So they're just going to have loads of Cinder. So I actually think here then it is what we want to do, to just play out Crosshair and get another Cinder Orb, to be honest. Because we can't even get to Maximus.
Whoa, careful.
So let's place ourselves a Cinder Orb down
Dad taught me to share.
about here. Gain 2 more Cinder. And we're going to play Crosshair about here. So it's as safe as we can get. This shouldn't pick up the orb. And it's going to make it hard for them to get into range of Maximus. The other option is like here. That makes it very hard for Maximus as well, actually. Let's go with that. I think this makes it very difficult. They're more likely to get our Cinder Orb, but less likely to get our Crosshair. And I think Crosshair can be really valuable here. Okay, they can't actually get all of them. Yep, this is fine. Like, we knew that was a likely occurrence, so I'm not too worried about that. And now that we've got a big damage unit, we can start making progress. They're trying to farm all of this Cinder all the way up. Like, given that we're not playing a very aggressive list, this is going to work out well, but in general I don't think this is the right call. Okay, Crankbait's interesting. And Cinder Review, they've got so much Cinder. Like, I feel like they're almost going to miss out on any other effect because they've only got Cinder. Sure. Is there a world where we can get a range of stuff? Yes, so this is a big hit on Crankbait if we get it. 50%. We did get it. 4 damage. Hit the blink as well.
Never gets old.
Astra cannot hit anything really. She can hit their Astra if we go over here. Might as well go for that.
How's your depth?
Because I think our plan now is to start getting aggressive. And given that they've only got 4 damage in total, placing our Blindsider Eztli quite far forward could be good, but they've got a lot of Cinder next turn, so maybe not Eztli then. Maybe we're going for another situation where we're just playing a really far forward Beatris and trying to just be, you know, movement blocking and aggressive in that front. Or in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to place a Beatris here so that they can't pull Crosshair out of position as easily, and then I guess I'm just going to place another Cinder Orb back here, just out of line of sight, so Maximus has to work to get it. I'm kind of fine if they pull Beatris here. Next turn we've got a load of Cinder as well. We're going to potentially have 8 Cinder, so we can haste out anything, and I'm okay with that. Like, this just feels like they can play anything they want to, but we've got enough damage to deal with some things. I also feel like Maximus isn't doing much here. Like, they've only played 2 units so far. Maximus is useful, doing his job, but he's not doing loads. And then Crankbait is not really the unit that you want in this situation. It's just a fast thing. They can't even gain more Cinder. They've got to spend it before they can use it. Given that we've got our stun next turn, I'd almost be tempted to try and do something like stun Maximus, but I think we're probably going to find a way to just Blindsider Eztli that next turn. This could be a switchback, which would be good for them. And if it is switchback, we're just going to Toxoid it. Toxoid and Plink would be absurd, just grow another Cinder again. There's lots of things they could play here, but most of it we can kill this turn. Yeah. So this can do 3 damage to something. And it's... yeah. Okay, crit for 5 is brutal. Ah, Nano Shield. Okay. What's funny about that is I think we actually just stun it.
Not a waste.
Like,
good ammo.
I think that's the right call. So we're just going to take Crosshair to shoot down here, because there's no reason not to. And then Crosshair can be our Cinder Collector this turn. We're absolutely going to stun Switchback,
My favorite.
because then it didn't move last turn either. We're just going to use Beatris to just move up here. And now we need something that can guaranteed kill that. I mean, it's probably just got to be finding a way to use Eztli, so if we do Into the Breach Eztli, we need to grow a Cinder as well, so we'll grow a Cinder in here. We'll pop over, in fact, we'll shoot their Astra first, get the blink, and we're just going to move around here, Into the Breach Blindsider Eztli, who's going to be able to kill Maximus. And we can gain 2 Cinder and play Deadeye, and Deadeye I think is just going to be played really far forwards here, make them deal with it being in their face, and this should be a really solid turn of stuff. So they can try and pull things away here, which is fine. Like, if they attack this, then that's unfortunately an error on their part, because it's just showing that they don't fully understand the interactions with the melee attack back. So something that was discussed on Reddit, and I've done before, but I don't know if I've ever mentioned, with Astra, they could put a Cinder Orb here, give us 1 Cinder, and that takes Eztli down to 2 attack instead of 4. But here they've just unfortunately sacrificed their unit for not really any benefit, and now they're having to sort of run away a little. So, okay, they're Into the Breaching a 4-drop, that's their own Eztli, so it's a 3-drop, but it's going to come and kill ours, that's fine. So because we've already got things over here set up where we could probably just kill this without any issues, we can actually just maybe even use our Toxoid over here and have it still be safe. We can even just start stealing Cinder as well, so first thing we're going to want to do is come over here and just get a nice crit onto a switchback and see how much we get. If we get 5, that'd be perfect. Okay, we've got the 4, so that does put us in a position where we need to attack here first.
Not a waste. Good ammo.
Honestly, I think we're just going to Into the Breach Toxoid here. Yeah.
We need your expertise.
So we're Into the Breach Toxoid to come over and poke this. Yeah, it's going to take us down, but then we're going to gain 1 back anyway. We can... Let's hit this with Astra. We should have moved first, because now we're actually slightly out of range for what I wanted to do. So let's just pop over here with Deadeye to try and get this finished off. Okay, that would have been pretty bad if that didn't happen. Okay, we got the win there. Perfect. So what I was going to do there is I was going to Plig to heal Toxoid, so that brings Toxoid up to 3, which means even a crit from Astra can't do it. All in all, do you know what? This list played out better than I thought it would. I didn't really find much use for Jailbreak. I wanted to, but I didn't really find a way for it to sort of find a home there. But everything else in here had really good use in those games. I mean, as much as some of these might not have been in like my top tier of units when I did my tier list, I don't think many of these are really in like the garbage tier. None of them were like awful units. Toxoid's good in this sort of list anyway. Beatris is still probably my favourite unit. Eztli, Deadeye are fantastic. Crosshair is medium but really powerful. It's just that there's often other options for a similar sort of effect. So it really only comes down to things like Jailbreak and Savria that are sort of, and maybe Torian, that are like middling in this list. So all in all, I think this list can run quite well. It actually has been quite enjoyable to play. I liked playing something different, maybe a little bit off meta. So I've had a lot of fun with it. If you've got any ideas that you want to put in for this list, feel free to pop them in the comments. If you've got your own list that you'd like me to try, pop that in as well, and I'm more than happy to give a few a go and see what other people have come up with, because unfortunately I can't figure out every permutation myself, so more ideas from the community is absolutely brilliant by my hand. If you guys like this, please make sure you subscribe to the video. It really, really does help me with get this channel to grow. It means more people see the videos. It means I'm getting closer to be able to monetize the channel, which is a long way away. I'm doing this because I love the game, but that would be a really nice boost if we could do it. But we're trying to push for now for 250 subscribers, so make sure you do that. Pop a like on the video, and most importantly, have a good day.